Hey, this is Danny with Ragebreed, and I'm here with our band of the month this month, is Hedra. How are you guys doing?
Very well, thank you. We had a nice journey up from Norwich, and there was no traffic issues, so we could go across all 3 lanes with no problem at all, and nearly burst a tyre from quick moves, but there you go.
So you've had quite a way to come then, haven't you? You've basically crossed.
Yeah, a little way. It's only a couple of hours, so you know we used to.
3, exactly.
Yeah, 3 exactly.
Obviously. So tonight we're going to be playing a track off of your new album. This lovely new album called Mind Dimension. Look at that.
That was brilliant. That was good.
And just wanted to sort of like ask you a few questions about the album, sort of like how did the recording process and everything go for it?
Well, that was a very difficult process because we initially thought it'd be a really good idea to do it at home on our computers, and as you can imagine, the drummer lives here, the fucking bassist lives there, the guitarist lives there, and getting everybody in the same place to actually work it out was a nightmare. So that actually took something around 2 years to come to a stagnant end, really. And yeah, although they sounded nicely polished, they were just too polished, you know what I mean? There was nothing raw, there was nothing with an attitude in there. So we scrapped the lot and decided to go to HVR Studios in Ipswich, and we did the whole thing live in 4 days, and yeah, that's the result that we got from it. And for me it was great because it was just like that live atmosphere that every band wants to have but seems to have been forgotten, you know, because of the computer age.
So did you essentially just like mic up and play as if you were playing live in the studio?
Exactly that. We literally just went in there, set everything up, got a fairly decent sound. Might have needed a few changes in amps and things like that, but we got as best sound as we could and just literally just recorded it there and then. And the way it came out was exactly how I wanted it to be, you know. There's all the rough cuts in there, you know, all the mistakes, they're all just left in there, but the attitude is left in there too. And I think that's, you know, more about what people want now as well, because everybody's so used to this kind of clinical sound, and the way things have taken bands is like you have to be perfect and play 1,000,001 notes and all this kind of stuff. Forget that. It's always been about attitude in heavy metal, and I think, you know, that's where we accomplished that sound. So.
Yeah. Did you have any sort of like particular, in terms of influences, was there any sort of like bands, were you sort of like envisioning an idea of like sort of like emulating any bands with your music, or?
Not for me, no, I don't. I listen to a lot of bands from across the board, and I couldn't honestly say I want to sound like this band. That's just not how I work. I just take the voice I've got and use it. And I don't know about the rest.
On the beginning I was trying to do something like Slipknot Iowa, clinical clean, I would say. Yeah, but unfortunately that is useless because in studio you have different conditions, yeah, different environment, and you can't actually achieve that what you're planning, yeah. So we just get what we could get, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. You know,
the best what we could get is we just put on that CD, yeah.
I think the important thing as well in music is to always try and think outside of the box and not think like I want to be Machine Head or I want to be this particular band, because that's the way the majority's thinking, you know. Everyone's got their heroes, everyone's got that person they want to be like on guitar or vocals, but the important thing is to try and be as original as you can in a world of saturated heavy metal, you know.
Homogeneous crap.
That's right, yeah. So that's, you know, that's what I'm about anyway. So.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the album's called, I'll double check, because
Mind Dimension.
Mind Dimension, and the artwork is pretty damn apocalyptic. So is that lyric the does that lyric, do the lyrics sort of reflect that?
Yeah, I mean, it's based on a story basically about a guy that ends up in a mental institution based on his upbringing. You know, like his dad was like a drug user and encouraged him to go and sell drugs and things like that. Anyway, he ends up in this institution, meets a girl, falls in love, managed to get well, get out. Then she ends up becoming an alcoholic and ends up in a mental institution, and he then has to help her out. By the time they've done that, there's a war started. So, you know, it's all about sort of how there's always problems in everybody's lives, and it's just down to your own mind about how you deal with those problems. And I've written a book about it all, and I'm trying to get somebody to do the animation for it, and hopefully at some point bring out a comic book or something like that. And we also do like an acoustic version of these songs as well, and that's meant to be the kind of feminine side, if you like, because, you know, we're the fucking heavy metal side, and, you know, the girls tend to like the nicer things at times, and it's nice for everybody as well, you know.
So, like, with that kind of concept, obviously, was there any? How did that come about? Did the whole concept of the album come about? Did you sort of, is it something you had in your head, or?
Actually, it was Camille's idea. He just said, "I want something to do with crazy." That was it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually quite like that, yeah.
Well, hang on. Obviously, you've been, how long you've been going for a short while? You got this new record out. What sort of touring plans, and sort of, have you got any goals for sort of getting abroad? Any places you want to particularly play?
Actually, our first goal is to make 52 gigs in next year, yeah. And just make a huge promotion for that EP. And after, when we finish, probably 100% sure, we're going to focus on new album, and new stuff, new stories, new ideas for music and story as well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this was really just our launch pad, you know. This is the first thing that we released as a band, and we've played all over the country already, and we realised that perhaps just playing around the country wasn't good enough, and we needed to get out there and meet people and add new friends to our Facebook and all this kind of thing, because we really think that, you know, people need to hear what we're doing, and the message really behind it is that, you know, no matter what goes on in the world, we're here, you know, to help you along the way with heavy music and with light music as well. So, you know, and yeah, so we're planning like a lot of gigs, and we've got some festivals coming up as well. So, you know, that's a new thing for us, because we're used to just playing to 2 people in a bar or something, you know, and times are changing for us, so that's really good. So we got new uniforms and everything.
I was going to comment on the, did you sort of come up with the whole idea of the sort of, because I know a lot of bands like to say, get like bands like the Devin Townsend project, where they'll have very similar sort of dress on stage.
Oh, I love Devin Townsend, yeah, so that might have been a subconscious thing that I thought about doing, yeah. But I think, you know, a lot of people are so individual that over the years bands have sort of lost some sort of style, you know. There'll be the guitarist will turn up in a check shirt, and the lead singer will turn up in his metal gear, and the drummer will turn up in his jogging pants and, you know, cap and all that kind of, and it just sort of becomes a bit of a mix-up of different styles, which is fair enough, but then there's hundreds and hundreds of bands doing that. So what we're trying to do is just keep it clinical, keep it neat, keep it metal in some way, and, you know, just, you know, emphasize the logo, and which I think is a really cool logo. You know, there's no other logo like this one. You know, and
That's pretty cool.
that was the whole point of this, is just to try and, you know, unify it a little bit more.
And finally, do you have any message for your fans watching this? Any message you want from them?
Well, I don't like to call them fans, because, you know, that segregates how I feel about people. I call them friends, you know, because anyone who likes anything that we do, we cherish that. You know, there's a million bands out there now doing what they do, and when you can just get one person interested in your music, that just means the world to me. As a 42-year-old man who's done this for 25 years, you know, that is everything, you know. He's hurt himself, but, you know. Wanker's cramp?
Our cameraman's got wanker's cramp. Anyway, thank you for your time, guys. And everything goes well.
Yeah. And there's some CDs to give out if you want to.
Yeah, if anybody, yeah, we'll definitely do that.